Chile now, where at least 64 people have died and more than 1,100 homes have been destroyed in the worst wildfires to hit the country in a decade. The deadliest fires occurred in the central Valparaiso region. The blazes are being driven by a summer heat wave and drought influenced by the El Nino weather phenomenon.
A seriously close call. As people run for their lives, firefighters try to evacuate as many residents as possible.
In a matter of minutes, the fire was already here. There was smoke, the sky turned black, everything was dark. The wind felt like a hurricane. It was like being in hell.
High temperatures and dry conditions are fueling the flames, causing the deadliest outbreak of forest fires in Chile in a decade. The president flew over some of the most devastated areas on Saturday. He warned of the danger still to come.
If you receive a message to evacuate, even if you believe the fire is far away, do not hesitate to go. If you've received that message, it's because you have to do it. We want to save lives and protect you.
Throughout the night, firefighters tried to quell the flames. But hundreds of homes were completely destroyed. In some areas where the worst of it was over, people returned to what was left of them. Some sifted for belongings in the rubble, while others tried to find pets that were left behind. As rescuers struggled to reach the worst affected areas, and with the death toll expected to rise, there's little comfort for those waiting for news of loved ones.
Journalist John Bartlett is in El Olivar, just outside the city of Valparaiso, and joins us on the phone now. John, you're in the area where the worst fires have raged. Give us an update on the situation there.
Yeah, I'm actually in the Independencia now, which is certainly the worst affected area I've seen so far. It's an informal settlement with rows of corrugated iron and concrete houses, which have been completely razed to the ground. I've been talking to residents here over the last hour or so, and everybody's been saying that they keep finding bodies. I mean, these are bodies that have not been included in the official death count yet, and obviously that's not been confirmed. But the Chilean authorities, they say at least, have been quite slow to move into these areas, and the solidarity that they've found among themselves has actually come from the community itself.
Now, the death toll is quite staggering. Dozens of people have died, and over 200 are reported to be still missing. Were people not warned in time?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Chile has a very advanced and quite agile system for early warnings, particularly for earthquakes. It's a country, of course, that's very prone to earthquakes, and then subsequently tsunamis as well in some cases. So Chile does have this system in place, but from the people I've talked to here, the alert came through about 6 p.m. on Friday night, and most people were saying that was just far too late. I talked to a woman not far from where I am now, just earlier on, who told me that she received the alert, ran out of the house, and could see flames already at the end of her street. So I think that the alert system did work. Of course it did, but it seems like people received the alert too late and then weren't exactly sure where to go or where they should be evacuating to.
It's summer in Chile now, and it's quite hot. It's very dry, obviously. What do we know about the cause of this fire?
So the president has been unequivocal, actually, in saying that they're launching criminal proceedings, or at least investigations, to find out where this came from, saying that there seem to have been 4 or 5 individual points where the fire started from, which does seem to point to this being started intentionally. What the motives for that are, obviously, so it's a different conversation to be had further down the line when we have more evidence or more proof to what actually has happened. But it does seem that it's been started deliberately. Certainly on preliminary evidence. But then also there's a huge drought at the moment in Chile. We've just had the second this January on record, going back more than 100 years. It's an El Nino year as well, as you said, introduction, saying that, it brings with it incredibly high temperatures and unseasonable rainfall in the winter. So it's an unusual year and a very hot year as well, and I think that laid the ground for these high winds to blow the flames through the different communities which have been devastated.
Yeah, over 150 fires have been reported. A third of them now seem to be under control. Does that mean, from where you are right now, that the worst is over?
It certainly seems to me that. If you look at what's happening now, it's a long and arduous clear-up attempt which is underway here. I mean, there's a long way to go with that, certainly, and I think people here are quite desperate to have even basic provisions provided in terms of water and food. They also say that the refuges which have been set up are too far away. People are reluctant to leave their homes and leave their possessions. There seems to have been a state of looting in some areas as well, so people are unwilling to leave their homes altogether. But yeah, I think that the worst seems to be over for now. But I mean, it's not as if we've had a huge amount of rain or anything. It's still incredibly dry here in Chile, and I think that this is something that happens every summer and is likely to continue, whether it's here exactly or in a slightly different area. I think that the wildfire season certainly isn't over.
That was journalist John Bartlett in Chile. Thank you so much for that update.
Thank you for having me.